Hello, it's Tonstant Weader back with another review. This time, a collection of short stories by Helen Simpson. The title of the book is Cockfosters, and yes, I am that adolescent that will pick up a book purely because the title makes me giggle. Cockfosters. Sadly, it's not one of those clever British insults like numpty that you can fall in love with. It's just a suburb of London. Actually, it's the end of the line for the subway on which one of a pair of women left her glasses. So they get back on the subway and ride it to the end of the line to go to Lost and Found and get her glasses. And along the way, they just have one of those ordinary girls are all right kind of conversations about life, how old they are, how old their friends are, and how gray they're getting. And, you know, basically decide the girls are all right, which is kind of the theme of most of the stories in this collection. There's a feminist perspective that is strongest in Erewhon, which is, of course, named after Samuel Butler's Erewhon. Nowhere, spelled backwards, in case you've never come across it before. And it's definitely nowhere because women are on top. Women run the government, run business, and control the culture. Erewhon. The rest of the stories are more everyday. There's Arizona. Not that it takes place in Arizona. It's associative. It's, you know, the acupuncturist's office, which is, of course, New Age, which, of course, is Southwest, which, of course, is Arizona. And I liked the story quite a bit. My favorite quote from the book is in Arizona, and it's talking about that when you wake up in the morning and you desperately try to remember a dream, and I'll read it for you. Sometimes when she woke from a flabbergasting dream, Liz would be very still to see if she could net it before it fled, perfectly still, eyes closed, not moving her head, as if the slightest shift would tip the story-bearing liquid, break its fragile meniscus, and spill the night's elusive catch. Wow, isn't that exactly what it feels like when you wake up in that dream you had? It was flabbergasting. And that dream and the memory of it is like quicksilver, hard to catch. I love that. There's a lot of good metaphors in the story, the longest story, Berlin. And of course it's the longest story because it's a couple listening to the ring cycle over the course of several days. And the longest opera deserves the longest story in the book. And they're scraping along. He's kind of irritating her, just a little bit sandpapery. And in the book, she describes it as though they have these different histories that are kind of, his layer of history and her layer of history. And it's happening at the same time, but they're on different layers. And they slide back and forth through the decades like tectonic plates. I thought that was that's not a quote, that's paraphrasing, but it's, I thought, such a beautiful metaphor. And there's a lot of very arresting ways of describing life and language in the book that I enjoy a lot. I also really like the politics, feminist, egalitarian, anti-oppression, anti-war. Sometimes that when discussing the politics, it gets a little less like natural conversation and more like a Facebook post. But other than that, it's actually pretty naturalistic. I enjoyed it a lot. It's came out just this month in the US. It came out in England last year. It's published by Knopf, and you can find it anywhere. It's a great collection of short stories and a very fast read. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks. See you soon.